Based on what we've seen from this rookie class so far, I think it's safe to say that NFL GMs would do something much different with their first-round pick if they had a do-over.
Is there a team that you're eyeballing for your future in the NFL?
The Tennessee Titans. I mean, I liked it down
really
in the Georgia, Tennessee area.
Yeah.
Today we present to you 10 do-overs for the biggest mistakes in the 2024 NFL Draft. Tennessee Titans, Brock Bowers over J.C. Latham. Nothing has really gone right for the Titans this year. They sent DeAndre Hopkins to the Kansas City Chiefs ahead of the trade deadline, and $92 million free agent signing Calvin Ridley has been a giant flop up to this point. We did think that Alabama offensive tackle J.C. Latham was a bit of a reach at number 7, but we also like the idea of trying to secure another cornerstone bookend to complement 2023 first-rounder Peter Skoronski. Hindsight is 2020, but Latham's had a pretty mediocre rookie season on a Titans offense that really hasn't done a whole lot of anything. So in this redraft exercise, we have them taking Brock Bowers instead. Bowers was regarded as a top 5 prospect entering the draft, but most people figured a tight end wouldn't go that early. So if there were a redraft, he would definitely be going earlier than 13th overall to the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders have one of the league's worst QB rooms in Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell, and yet Bowers has still posted superstar-like numbers. So just imagine what Will Levis would do with Bowers as his lead pass catcher. It would certainly make up for Hopkins' departure and Ridley's nightmarish 2024 season. The Titans don't have any young stud offensive weapons, and Bowers would have been the ideal piece to build around with Levis. Or, whoever Tennessee's next starting QB is. Oh, what could have been. Atlanta Falcons, Jared Verse over Michael Penix Jr. So, since Kirk Cousins has come as advertised and looks like he'll be Atlanta's long-term QB, everyone can finally agree that the Michael Penix Jr. pick at number 8 overall was a big mistake, right? Come on, right? A win-now team like Atlanta needed to draft a player who could start right away, not a hit-or-miss quarterback who may or may not play in 4 years. Sure enough, that problem has been perfectly evident in the first half. While Atlanta's offense has gotten better through the course of the year, Raheem Morris's defense has been a huge disappointment. Over Atlanta's first 7 games, no player had even 2 sacks, with Grady Jarrett and Matt Judon leading the way at 1.5 apiece. So, what if Atlanta addressed an organizational need and took another edge rusher? More specifically, Los Angeles Rams defensive end Jared Verse, who's really proven to be a steal at number 19 overall. Verse ranks among the NFL's best in the pass rush and run-stop win rate departments for edge rushers, according to ESPN's data. Through week 7, his pass rush win rate was higher than the likes of Max Crosby, Will Anderson Jr., Brian Burns, and Nick Bosa. So, yeah, think a team with playoff aspirations like Atlanta would prefer an elite pass rusher over a backup QB? Yeah, so do we. New Orleans Saints, Brian Thomas Jr. over Talisa Fuaga. You know how the Saints offense has been, a disaster all year? Yeah, maybe having more receivers to help Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed could have made a bit of a difference. New Orleans used the number 14 pick on Oregon State offensive tackle Talisa Fuaga, but their O-line has been a disaster all season, and that largely stems from Fuaga's struggles at left tackle. Thomas, who went 23rd to the Jacksonville Jaguars, has been the NFL's best rookie wide receiver this season. Could you imagine if a healthy Derek Carr had Thomas, Olave, and Kamara? The rookie especially would have been critical after Shaheed's season-ending knee injury. To think they could have had a special receiver duo of Olave and Thomas to build around for years to come. Minnesota Vikings, Cooper DeJean over Dallas Turner. The Vikings took a risk by trading for an extra first-round pick and a blockbuster move with the Texans. They made another deal with the Jaguars to move up and select Alabama edge rusher Dallas Turner, widely regarded as the best one in the draft at number 17 overall. Even though Brian Flores' defense has been a top-notch unit this season, Turner is, he's not the reason why. He's playing about a quarter of their defensive snaps and hasn't been able to consistently generate pressure whatsoever. So, what if Minnesota addressed its real current weakness back in April by selecting cornerback Cooper DeJean instead? The Iowa product somehow fell to the Philadelphia Eagles in round 2 at the number 40 spot. And sure enough, DeJean has played like a veteran all-pro corner alongside fellow rookie Quinn Mitchell, giving Philly one of the league's best secondaries. DeJean looks like he'll be a top 5 corner for years to come, and this mini defense would challenge for football's best with his presence. Turner can become a star, sure, but edge rushing help is not Minnesota's issue. It is a shutdown corner, which they passed on in DeJean. Carolina Panthers, Keon Coleman over Xavier Legette. After acquiring star wideout Deontay Johnson from the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Panthers tried to further bolster their offense by moving up for South Carolina wide receiver Xavier Legette at number 32 overall. While Johnson and running back Chuba Hubbard have had strong 2024 campaigns, the rest of Carolina's offense has been an absolute mess. 2023 first overall pick Bryce Young was benched after 2 games in favor of Andy Dalton, and Carolina's other offensive weapons have had little to no impact, and that includes Liggett, who will be lucky to even hit the 50-catch and 500-yard marks this season. And right after the Panthers took Liggett, the Buffalo Bills selected Florida State wideout Keon Coleman at number 33 overall. And guess which one has actually been productive? Before the Bills traded for Amari Cooper, Coleman had made his case as the team's #1 receiver over Khalil Shakir. We'll see how Coleman produces with Cooper now in the fold, but the Bills' rookie standout was threatening for a 1,000-yard season before that blockbuster move. If Coleman could produce those numbers on a let-everybody-feast Buffalo offense, just imagine what he'd do on a Carolina team that has little in the passing game outside of Johnson. Miami Dolphins, T'Vondre Sweat over Chop Robinson. Robinson was once viewed as one of the ultimate boom-or-bust prospects of 2024. Unfortunately for Miami, his rookie season falls into the bust category. A win-now team like Miami had to ace their 2024 first-round pick. The Dolphins have gotten practically no meaningful production out of Robinson, who has been used in a rotational role under Anthony Weaver. Though the Dolphins' pass D has been among football's best all year, the rushing D has been a major problem against top-flight offenses. So, now with the benefit of hindsight, how about we put T'Vondre Sweat down as Miami's first-round pick in a do-over? The hulking defensive tackle was drafted in round 2 at number 38 overall, joining a dangerous Jeffrey Simmons-led front seven. Though the Titans have been a mess offensively, their D has kept them in games. And that starts with Simmons and Sweat, whose elite run-stopping defense could have solved Miami's problem in the ground game. And I don't know, maybe their defense would be a top 5 unit instead of a one-dimensional group. Seattle Seahawks, Kalen Bullock over Byron Murphy II. Yeah, it was no surprise that the Seahawks addressed the defensive side of the ball with their first-round pick. Big Texas defensive tackle Byron Murphy II felt like a logical pick at number 16 overall, seemingly shoring up a need on the defensive line. But Murphy has not done a whole lot of anything in Mike McDonald's defense. As a rotational player, he's been suspect against the run and has not been able to generate much pressure on the quarterback. The Seahawks' run D has been atrocious all season long, and the leaky secondary could certainly use one more piece to complement the likes of Devin Witherspoon, Reek Woolen, and Julian Love. Thus, enter Caleb Bullock, who is picked up by the Texans at number 78 overall. The ex-USC star has been a unicorn for DeMeco Ryans' defense. He's been borderline elite in coverage and is challenging for the league lead in interceptions. Bullock is a rookie, but seems well on his way to becoming an all-pro safety in this league. And obviously, I think at this point, would have been a better pick for Seattle. Cincinnati Bengals, Quinion Mitchell over Amarius Mims. Lou Anarumo's usually stingy unit gave up 24-plus points in 4 straight games from weeks 2 to 5, a clear-cut indicator that they just don't have enough pieces to get by on defense. Well, what if the Bengals didn't reach for Georgia offensive tackle Amarius Mims at number 18 overall? They already had Pro Bowler Orlando Brown Jr. and Trent Brown, though there was obviously no predicting the latter's season-ending injury in advance. Mims has been a merely average to below-average starter on the Bengals O-line. Meanwhile, the Philadelphia Eagles have enjoyed the rise of rising star shutdown corner Quinion Mitchell, who is taken 4 picks later at number 22 overall. The Toledo product has been pure lockdown in coverage and dangerous as a ball hawker. This advanced stats and Pro Football Focus darling has helped Philly's defense return to elite form under new defensive coordinator Vic Fangio. You just can't help but wonder how much better the Bengals' record would be if they had a game-changing corner like Mitchell. Dallas Cowboys, Zach Frazier over Tyler Guyton. Jerry Jones usually hits pretty dang well in his first-round picks, but Tyler Guyton's play has left a lot to be desired in 2024. The Oklahoma product has been awful and finds himself near the league lead in penalties committed and sacks taken. Meanwhile, the Pittsburgh Steelers struck gold by snagging Virginia center Zach Frazier with the number 51 selection. Before suffering an ankle injury in Week 6 that wound up sidelining him, Frazier was graded at 82.2 by PFF, placing him in the top 5 without a single sack allowed. We know that Jerry hates being criticized and being told what to do, but come on, a mulligan with the number 29 pick would have to be Zach Frazier. New York Jets, Dominic Pooney over Olu Fashanu. Aaron Rodgers' Jets have been the biggest disappointment of the first half. You can point the finger at whomever, but it feels like more criticism should go towards Joe Douglas for rebuilding an offensive line that is hardly better than the disastrous 2023 group. The Jets used the number 11 selection on Penn State offensive tackle Olu Fashanu. The player and fit made a lot of sense at the time, if only Fashanu is playing better than a replaceable level rotational player. While Fashanu has spent most of his rookie year on the sidelines and providing poor blocking when on the field, the San Francisco 49ers have embraced the home run pick that was Kansas guard Dominic Pooney in round 3 at number 86 overall. Pooney has been a rock star at the guard position for the 49ers, but he also played defensive tackle in college. The Jets could have lined Pooney up anywhere, and he would have done more than the disappointing bookend duo of Morgan Moses and Tyron Smith. Just saying. But hey, what other huge mistakes from the 2024 NFL Draft do you wish your team could do over? Do you agree with our choices on our list? Is there any that you would change? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton, and you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea, because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.